Hello, Elmar. Here I have already taken your question and shuffled it into the tarot, and I have done the Tree of Life 11 card with 12 card right there spread. Here we have the world, the outer, the sense of past that you're moving out of in this query of insights onto finding your soulmate. Again, the world. Next, we have the present moment you are in or coming into. Your feelings on this, thoughts, spiritual guidance, forces working for you, forces working against you. This can be blockages, this can be things not yet in full bloom, this could be things that you need to work on or work through. General prevailing neutral forces. What is the overriding neutral force at work? Form. This form, which can mean the form that these forces will work through, or the form that you will take to move through these forces best. Then hidden knowledge, the heart, the mirror. Who are you in this? And then karmic resolution, what karma needs to be resolved or will be resolved. And then lastly, what is a message from the tarot, from the higher beings that I work with. Let's get started. The world, sense of past, the Ace of Crystals. Here we have a big quartz crystal securely nestled in this rock wall, right there at arm's reach, ripe for the taking. This card is about that which you treasure being right there in arm's reach. The rock wall signifies foundation and security in these matters of treasures and monetary wealth, and also taking into account your physical health. Crystals deal with all physical gems, all material flowers of Gaia. And that is in the placement of what you are coming from. Moving from the Ace of manifesting physical treasures. Next up to present moment. Present moment you are moving into or already in. The Two of Chalices. Here we have two lovers lost in each other's gaze, their cups intertwined, the cups symbol for the fullness of emotions. Around them are flowers, and behind them a stony archway. Outside of that, it's all mist. What this card is entirely about love, about being in love and giving yourself wholeheartedly to another soul. It is that dreamy state of being lost in another's eyes, and also speaks of being wary of this, being mindful of how that can leave you blinded to the world around you, as illustrated by the mist behind the castle walls. So just to keep that in consideration in the present moment of giving yourself to another. This could be, yeah. Alright, next up, feelings. The Adept of orbs. The Adept is the male, masculine student of his suit, orbs. The Adept is very learned, but still needing refinement and experience to attain full mastery over orbs, over the mental bodies. He's quite capable of diving deep into understandings and has great capabilities, but has not yet mastered the ego self. This card, in the placement of feelings, would suggest that you are either feeling both your capabilities to dive deep into your own thoughts, as well as you might want to take a deeper look into how ego affects this, or how you can further let go of self-admiration in your feelings, in your thoughts, in diving deep. Alright. Next, we have thoughts. The Sage of Flames. Interesting that we have the orbs for feelings and the flames for thoughts. The Sage of Flames is the supreme feminine authority figure. She is very wise, very experienced, and serves as a teacher as well as a healer of her suit. Her suit is flames. Flames is the divine spark that ignites the soul. It is the purest sacred flame within. The sage can call upon both masculine and feminine aspects of this to bring about, to work in harmony and grace and honor that sacred flame. This in your thoughts, based on your query, these could represent people. I kind of get that sense. How, I don't know if you're being caught between, like who you think could be your soulmate and who you feel your soulmate is. That's one way of looking at this. I try not to look at it in terms of, like attaching these solidly to people, because it's a lot more applicable to just look in, to internalize these things and see how you can apply them to yourself. That's something to be mindful of if that's true. Alright, but the Sage of Flames in your thoughts would, I feel, makes you to ask, how are you calling upon the divine feminine in your thoughts? How are you honoring the divine feminine sacred flame in your mental bodies, in your mental realm? Or could this, perhaps this could serve you more than you are allowing it to just yet? Perhaps it is more of a key to finding your soulmate. Let's move on. Number 5, spiritual guidance. What spiritual guidance can the tarot give you for finding your soulmate? The 8 of Chalices. Here, our character is walking away from 8 full-ish chalices. He has had his fill and is ready to move on to the next higher plane. This key talks about recognizing when it is time to move on, recognizing when you have had your fill and are ready to take that next big journey to a higher state of being. In the placement of guidance, I would ask, how do you feel it's time to move on? And are you ready to move on and let go while still honoring the memories and experiences that you had? Spiritual guidance. Next. Forces for you. What forces are working for you in finding your soulmate? 5 of Crystals. Here we have an Atlantean priestess. In the background, if you can see, there is her sisterhood of priestesses, and they have just kicked her out. Her 5 most prized crystals were thrown out along with her and now lay broken on the floor. This is kind of a darker key, but the message is that when you focus too much on the tools over the purpose, both you can be ejected from that whole process. To learn the lesson that the only true wealth is not physical, is not worldly, but the true wealth gleaned from existence is the wealth of love in your heart. I could see this. That is how I interpret that key working for you, is that focusing on that, that the abundance of the heart and soul is what matters most in experience, and what matters most in finding your soulmate. Okay, moving on. Blockages, forces working against you, or not yet in full bloom. We work past. Number 7 of the major arcana, the Chariot. Here we have Lord Krishna with his 5 horses representing the 5 senses, the 5 sense states. He's got all of their reins in his right hand, and in his left hand he is holding a whip. This is a representation for giving the handing over the reins of the 5 senses to the right brain, and the left brain striking reason, discipline, work ethic from that logical left brain. The Chariot. Chariot in Kabbalah is the metaphorical representation for the Merkaba. It holds the same numerical value. The word chariot holds the same numerical value as Merkaba, and is used as a representation for that. It is the vessel that spirit moves through. It's the physical body, the spiritual body, and this key is about harnessing that. It's about seeing your goal and going straight for it, whether it is across great distances or if it is across battlefields. It doesn't matter. The charioteer sees his goal and moves towards it relentlessly. This key in that placement of blockages, I would say, means not yet in full bloom. That is something, it can be hard to drum up the courage to just go out there and find somebody that loves you, I guess. Or that there's a lot of fear with that. But the way to get past all that is to just go, go, go. Behind him we have the full moon, illuminating his chariot from behind. This is a metaphor for the supernatural forces that are like the winds at your back, that are pushing you towards your goal. It begs the querent to, take note of those forces that are at your back pushing you in the direction you want to go. Now, general prevailing neutral forces at work in this finding your soulmate. 10 of Orbs. Not a very bright key, but that's not doesn't have to be bright to get a good message from Spirit. The 10 of Orbs, here our character is laying down, his face to the ground, his 10 weighty orbs coming crashing down on top of him. He is totally over encumbered by these thoughts, by his own mental bodies, and feels there is nowhere left to turn, nowhere left to go, and he is just given up and ready to accept his fate. But one of the messages in this is that the way out is inward, going from your mind to your heart. When you move into your heart and you let go of these thoughts that bear down on you, you can simply stand up and walk away and realize that it was just a rest that was needed to replenish your strength. That when you let go of these thoughts, it was just sort of like taking a nap. That's how I interpret it for general overriding neutral forces at work. Is that feeling of giving up only to realize that it was just like a short break. And next we have form. What form will these forces work through? Or what form should you take to work through these forces? The 6 of Chalices. Ah, yes. The other very lovey key of the Chalices. In the 6, Starseed is reminded of the childlike innocence of love and the infinite abundance therein. Starseed remembers that this experience was previously agreed upon and that you are fulfilling that which you set out to and agreed to do before taking on this physical experience. This key is about honoring that childlike love and innocence and the divine light within you and the divine light within others. I would say in this placement that is the form to best work through these forces. That childlike love and innocence, and honoring the childlike love and innocence and the divine light in yourself as well as in others, will free you from the thoughts that weigh down on you most. It can inspire you to take up arms in the chariot and go out and get your goal. And also this abundance of love and innocence can free you from the feelings of loss, of losing that which you treasure most, or seeing it broken in front of you, or feeling rejected. That's another theme of this key, is feeling rejected or ostracized. So I would say taking this key to heart can be very helpful, even just to meditate on, also talks about, how are you being childlike and innocent in your relationships. It talks about how are you in the now moment of your life, and yeah, just honoring that divine light within all. Good one, good one. So, next we have the mirror. Who are you in this situation, in this query, in this finding your soulmate? The Five of Flames. Here we have 5 torches raised high, all set on their goal of conquering this new horizon symbolized by the dawn. Each flame is raised high, and there is some strife, for none of them are able to stand up fully as a leader, and none of them are backing down, giving way to another to assume that role. This key is about feeling torn by many options. This key is about having different passions or flames burning within your own heart and being unable to decide which should lead the way, which will lead you to that new horizon, that new objective, that just that new plane. The answer, I would say, is, well, the answer in this story is to quiet your heart and find which passion burning within you is the purest and closest to your inner truth. Which one is most just, most noble, most pure? In this query, I can see, looking for who is your soulmate. It is very easy to be overwhelmed by the possibilities. I mean, it's just so sort of boundless. And so it is easy to feel sort of torn by different options and what have you. But relax, quiet your heart, and look inward, and you will find that what you're looking for is not so far from your heart. It is just out and ahead of you. Alright, finally, karmic resolution. What needs to or will be resolved? What needs to or will be resolved in finding your soulmate? 9 of crystals. I'm just gonna grab it. Alright. Here we have our character who has amassed 9 gigantic crystals in her treasure chest. Around her are beautiful plants, and up above is a white owl, a symbol of higher consciousness and higher knowing, looking down on that fortune that she has manifested. This key is about taking time to smell the roses, because you've worked hard to create this abundance of treasures, and now it is time to both enjoy them and also to take into consideration how you are being generous with others. These treasures are tools, and they can be used selflessly. They can be used to help and better your experience and the experience of those close to you. So, the placement of karmic resolution. I would say Nine of Crystals in resolution speaks to both generosity and implementation of treasures that you have worked hard to make. That it can be kind of cryptic to interpret the karmic resolution, because it's a very cosmic force. So I would for karmic resolution, both look into being more generous and utilizing your tools to serve others as well as yourself. Lastly, the 12th card. What highest guidance or message from the tarot do you have for this query? Luna, number 18 in the major arcana. Luna is the moon. It is the moon's ever-changing face. The moon holds tremendous sway on the tides, and they will pull for very, very high tides as well as for low tides. This speaks of divine feminine energy and also the emotions. How the moon, with her ever-changing face, is a reflection to how we as beings will go through many phases and different highs and lows. As a message to you in this query, I would say this is a very applicable key to keep in mind the highs and lows, that all things come and go, and we ride out these highs into the next lows, all in this roller coaster of love and experience. One last time for I'll put this there. Sense of past, the Ace of Crystals, manifesting the purest form of manifestation. Moving to the present, Two of Chalices, which is a lovey-dovey, dreamy state of totally giving yourself to another. Feelings, the Adept of Orbs, feeling like that halfway point between mastery and youth. Thoughts, Sage of Flames, divine feminine authority figure over the sacred flame of the heart. Spiritual guidance, knowing when it is time to walk away from a situation after you have had your fill, and being able to honor that without holding it. Forces working for the Five of Crystals. Focus on purpose over the lesson that focusing on the tools over the purpose ejects you from the process. Blockages, the Chariot. The charioteer races towards his goal wholeheartedly across great distances and battlefields, knowing that the goal will be met. General prevailing neutral forces are the Ten of Orbs, feeling over-encumbered by your own thoughts and giving in to them, and feeling like just giving up when the way out is into the heart. Form. The form you take is the Six of Chalices, that childlike innocence and honoring the divine light in yourself and in others to find the fulfillment. The Mirror is the Five of Flames, being torn between multiple options in the heart, and the process of finding which one should take the lead, which is most pure and most noble. Karmic resolution is the Nine of Crystals, having amassed great fortune and great material wealth. How do you share this with those closest to you to better the situation of all? Last message from the tarot, Luna. Hope you enjoyed this, brother. Hope this was most helpful. Many blessings to you. And look forward to the next time.